How's it going, everybody? My name is Absalom and welcome back to the All Collectibles walkthrough for Blair Witch. I'm continuing the story with Chapter 8 and it's kind of a long level, so just get ready because we have a lot of collectibles. So on Chapter 7, I left off with having to let go of Bullet, which is honestly just an impossible task. And to start this chapter, you do have to let go of Bullet, but I just want to say that I've never let go in my heart. I think that Bullet will always be there for us. And even though we got heated in chapters 6 and 7, I think that chapter 8 we are stronger than ever. So Bullet's gonna make up for it. And if you just walk ahead on this trail, or if you use the seek command, he's gonna go find our next photo collectible. So we don't have to do that. So you need to make sure that you give Bullet all the love on this one. So this will be your first collectible, and it is for the Prism Isola photo. I know I kind of mess up the names on purpose usually, but that one I think did it for us. Honestly, that one's pretty rough. So this chapter is about halfway through the game, and it's a nice change of pace because it is a puzzle-based level, but mainly the vibe of it is just very different than other chapters because you just feel very alone, but it's very quiet, and at the same time as feeling alone, you also feel like you're being watched, and it's just this really somber, eerie feeling throughout the entire mission. So I really appreciate that, and that really says a lot about the Blair Witch vibe. Also, this is kind of the chapter where Ellis stops questioning what's happening and more just tries to find a solution out of his problems. So the next collectible is right here on this rock. It'll be a trash piece, so do not miss that. And then now you can go down to this the bottom of the hill, and there's a railroad track, and just head to the left. So right here, Ellis is about to demonstrate his stellar observational skills once again like he did with the dead sheriff, and just now realized that there is a railroad track.
Let's see where it leads.
Also, in the last chapter, we started collecting 2 out of the 6 dog tags. Now, the third one is located on this rock next to this envelope right here.
How the hell did they get here?
So now just keep heading down the railroad car, and there's going to be another collectible up on the right. But first, your phone is going to go off, and it's totally optional. But if you call your voicemail, you will get another eerie message.
You have one new message. Where is he? What did you do to him? It's all because of you. I knew it. I always knew you.
Man, Ellis just accepts that, dude. He's like, tell me something I don't know. There's no emotion whatsoever on that phone call. So as you head up to this bridge, there is your next collectible, and it'll be the next Polaroid photo. It'll be on this top of the stump next to this collapsed wagon, and that will get you the cast spear photo, so make sure you grab that. So as you cross this bridge is where I really feel like the chapter takes on that really eerie and just kind of silent vibe, and I really got that from Outlast 2. So this is kind of where I feel like they've really nailed that that same vibe from Outlast 2 in this game. So Bullet's been through a lot as a dog, but he's just like any other dog, and he's really about rides. So you can go ahead and get Bullet hyped for a ride, and once you get in the car, he should follow, and all you have to do is just read the manual to get going.
Come on, buddy.
So I like to check on Bullet periodically while we're riding, just to be a good dog owner as well, but also as a good friend. I feel like this is a lot for Bullet, and it's really important that you check on him. So there aren't any collectibles at this point. All you're doing is just kind of riding, and the big surprise is that the place you just came from is a lot different than when you left it. And also up ahead, there is going to be a little device on the right. Make sure you stop the cart before you pass that if you want to save yourself an extra 10 seconds of work. So now there's this log blocking the railroad, and so we're going to need to solve a pretty intricate puzzle to get past this. So welcome to Camp A, and there are 4 collectibles you need to pick up, as well as a few notes for some added lore throughout the game.
Operation out here. Stopped giving up permits in the 60s.
So on the table, you'll find the red tape, and this will allow you to get into this little shed, as well as there's a few collectibles on the right side of this shed. So once you grab the tape, you can go ahead and stop it. Just fast forward through most of the tape, and at the very end, that door to that shed will be open in the tape, so just make sure that you pause it on that door. So before we enter the shed, I'm going to cover the few collectibles laying around. So there is a Polaroid on the right side of this shed, and it's on top of this box right here, and that should get you the Arcad IS photo right there. Now directly to the right, there is the next trash pickup. And for some reason, I had the hardest time picking this piece up. I don't know why. I've never had that in any playthrough, but for some reason, this piece did not want to be grabbed. So just stay diligent, and you shouldn't have any issues. After that, now there is one more collectible, and this will be the 4th of the 6 dog tags, and it'll be right there on top of that log.
God, I'm so sorry.
Now, that's all the collectibles in Camp A. You can just head into the shed, and there's a few notes that you can pick up, as well as a map that you can reference kind of where you're at in this this level.
The maintenance shed looks promising. Maybe there's some spare parts left.
Okay, so now it's time to head to the maintenance shed. So head back to the cart, and there is a interactable railroad track shifter. I don't really know the name of this, but you just need to move this if you haven't already. You can do this as soon as you get here, but either way, make it to where the arrow is facing to the left, and then now you can board the cart once again. Come on, Bullet, let's go for another ride. You want to go for a ride? Come on. So this is where the chapter really gets eerie, and it takes a whole nother turn into the very alone but yet you're being watched vibe. Okay, so now up here on this sign, go ahead and lock down the cart, and you're going to face another lightsaber battle. But first, you're going to want to start the generator back up, and that will actually trigger the battle scene. So all you need to do is just interact with it twice, and it will start it up. Alright, so once that's done, now head down the trail towards the maintenance shed, and there is going to be 2 more collectibles, both on the right side, as well as 1 storyline piece you need to get. So right here on top of this table is the first collectible, which is the 5th out of the 6 dog tags, so make sure you pick that up, and then if you head to the right, there is the next Polaroid photo collectible right here inside of this rusted barrel.
This again.
So now it's time to be a total creep, so go around the back of the shed and just stare at the valve through the window, and once you give Bullet the signal, he will go and retrieve this valve. I also want to mention that there are a few notes inside of this shed if you'd like some more lore. They're not really important to anything, but if you want to read them, they are inside of that shed. Bullet did such a good job. Wait, Bullet, come back. Come back, Bullet, no. There you go, you did a good job. I'll let it slide. So I do want to remind people that it is important to be treating Bullet pretty well throughout the campaign, because this does influence the ending a little bit. So anytime he does a job for you or anything like that, I would just be petting him unless you want to be a terrible person. So after that, now you can head back to the cart and head on to Camp B. Ellis is really going to show how these big tumbles he's taken throughout the campaign is worn down on his knees, I guess. Like, he's like, just making total dad noises. Like those tumbles took a toll on him, you know. Bullet's not even looking at us anymore. He's just like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Okay, so right here, I would lock down the cart before you get to this little valve right here. However, I was reading my notes and completely blanked, but I think I stopped it in time. I think... no, I mean... we'll leave a note. It doesn't matter. After this, now you just need to crank up the generator twice more, and you'll have your next lightsaber battle. Okay, so once you're done with the battle, now just head down the railroad some more and you'll head into Camp B. So now that you've bested both phases of Blair's minions, she's now going to really retreat and fall back, and then now she's pulling out all the stops, and her big strategy is to drop acorns on your head, because apparently that is going to stop us on our mission. So once you get up here, the lights will go out, and then you can either proceed on as normal, or you can come over here and turn off the fuse box, and you can either unscrew that fuse right there or just do it in a second. But your next collectible is on this table, and it is the next psychiatric note. But to get the lights back on, now head to the left, and there's this toolbox over here with the replacement fuse. So pick that up, and now you can head back to that fuse box and change out the fuses. So now that the lights are back on, now we're going to head into Camp B a little bit further, and there's going to be 3 more collectibles coming up in just a minute. So if you just keep going down this trail, then there's going to be a light overhead, and right underneath that light there is going to be the next wooden doll collectible just laying in the middle of the ground. Well, Bullet clearly doesn't care about that collectible, but oh look at him, he's being such a dog right now. I think I mentioned this earlier, but he has the best ability to do the most adorable things at like the worst possible times or places throughout this game. It's pretty funny, honestly. I love how they made him just like such a dog in this game. So right here there is a log that has fallen down, and that is a bridge that you can go across, and you'll actually have a couple more collectibles coming up. The first is in the back of this wagon right here in between these logs, and it'll be the next photo collectible. We're like 30 photos deep, and we finally have a normal name. Like, I swear, we've had the weirdest names on these photos. But right here, if you look at the valve, you'll get a little audio quote, and then you should be able to pick up this valve.
This should do it.
So after that, there is one more collectible, so just head down this trail, and then inside of this shed, it's going to be in the floorboards, actually, in the back, there is going to be your last dog tag collectible. I would like to mention that there is a note on top of this barrel if you're looking for some more lore throughout this game. So now you should have all the parts you need to start up the steam engine and solve that puzzle in Camp A. So make your way back to the railroad cart, and then there's only one more collectible before you get there that I will show you in just 1 second. So this part especially is where I really feel like the game just really hones in on that alone feeling, but you're like, you know, you're being watched by the witch, but you're so alone, and I love this vibe that they've done with this level. It really sets the tension for the next chapter, where you're actually going to make it to the sawmill. It's just building up this tension where you're like unsure and uneasy kind of feeling of like what's coming, and you know that it's too easy almost, so it's actually really scary in that sense. So right here, once you get back, if you haven't stopped your cart and you actually ran it into the wagon like I did, then go ahead and back it up, change the direction of this, and do that. But if you did stop it, all you have to do is just change the direction, and then you should be able to head towards that bridge up ahead.
Come on, buddy.
So right up here is the last collectible for the chapter, like I mentioned earlier, and it's right here before the bridge starts on the left. Try to be a better cart attendant than I am, because I just keep messing it up, but just go ahead and stop your cart right there, and then the photo is on that wooden tile. So just hop out and grab it, and that should complete all of the collectibles for Chapter 8.
This again.
I also want to mention that this will take you back to Camp A. If you go in reverse, you can also do it if you want to go the scenic route. This is the shortcut to get back to Camp A, and all you have to do is just go through the bridge. And so it's either way it works, but this is the fastest route. So again, you want to stop the cart right before the railroad switch so that you can go ahead and switch that again. But now you're going to solve the puzzle that you've been working on finding all the parts for. So if you head over to this steam engine over here, or the steam donkey, then you can go ahead and insert the pieces that you've collected right here on the right side. So next you just need to pull out your video camera from the tape from earlier, and then just rewind it from the door and pause it, and the fire should start. Now all you have to do is just interact with the valve and then go left or right, and then you just want to keep the needle in the green zone. I like to play a game that's called How Close Can I Get to the Red Without It Going Over, because if it does go over, you have to start over, and the valve on the right will actually reset it. But it's pretty fun to ride the line right there and see how close you can get it. Ooh, I'm getting closer. I've had some warm-up marks, so now I'm really going to go for it right here. Oh, it's so close. It's so close. I don't want to restart. It takes, like, you have to do the whole thing over again. Right there. Oh, that was a good one. Okay, that was a good one to end on. But eventually the thing will stop, and the log will be off the railroad cart. So now what you do is just turn and go back towards the rail cart, and then you'll be able to ride it towards the sawmill. But coming up in just a second is hands down the coolest cinematic experience in the entire game. So I'm actually going to not commentate it at all because I don't want to ruin it with my voice. But I'm actually going to boost the game volume just a little bit, and I will pick up on the commentary at the end. But this is the end of the chapter, and I just want to let you guys experience this as a whole without any commentary. So I will see you guys in just a second.
Either. We'll be out of here soon. Bullet? No, don't stop now. Just a little further. Further.
how cool is that? That is the coolest thing ever, and it's even better in game. But that is everything for chapter 8. I will pick up in the next video with chapter 9. If you guys have any questions, please put them in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.